Hi, I'm Jennifer Hollick with the Ancestral Souls Wisdom School, and today I wanted to share some thoughts on perspective when we're researching our family history, when we're looking at our own life experiences, and also when we're listening to the family stories about who people are or what events took place, especially the traumatic things. Because as we start to look at the things that are affecting us, these inherited traumas or the beliefs, behaviors, and patterns that keep getting passed down through the generations, it's important to pay attention to what perspective is showing up here. So when we listen to the stories or we find the documents, or maybe we're reading a military report and getting the perspective of the battle, are we just stopping with that one perspective? Are we only seeing the family or seeing ourselves through that one lens? If we are, I think we're doing it wrong. The more perspectives that we have, the more information we have, and the more willing we are to look at all of the different possibilities, the greater chance we have to identify the beliefs, behaviors, patterns, and inherited traumas that are holding us back, that are keeping us stuck, and not allowing us to live our most abundant and amazing life ever. So, what do? How do we deal with this? Well, let me give you an example. My great grandmother, Bessie, apparently not a very nice lady. The only stories I've heard about her are negative. The photos I have of her, she's looking really kind of stern and crabby, except in one. I only have one where she's actually smiling, and it's the wedding of her granddaughter, B. So I wondered, was Bessie really that horrible? I mean, these are the stories that I'm getting. When we skim the surface of the genealogical documents of her life, we don't learn that much about what might have made her into this mean person that everybody says she was. But when we take a different perspective, when we start to go deeper into those layers, go beyond that surface level family story. Oh, she was so mean. This is what she did to my grandfather, or whatever. Well, what might have made her that way? So we have to look at the personal things, and we have to look at the family things, and we have to look at the collective things. So it's many different perspectives, many different lenses. When we look at the collective, the big picture, well, we can say, okay, she was born into an immigrant family in Chicago. They didn't have a lot of money. And then she survived living through the World War I era. Then she survived the Great Depression. Then she survived World War II. And she lost people in those wars. Collective trauma, being in fear, dealing with rationing, dealing with a lot of uncertainty. Then if we look at the family, well, what was happening in the family? Okay, so several people died because of war. There was a lot of grief. There was a lot of stuff just shoved down. Then we had other people maybe leaving. Maybe they were moving away. We had one family member leave and come back. Then when we get down to the personal level, what do we find? We have to look at who else is in the family. How many pregnancies did she have? How many babies did she lose? What other kinds of grief and traumatic experiences happened specifically to her that might have shaped who she became later? Do you see how we're looking at these different layers, looking through the different lenses, checking out all the perspectives? It also helps when you talk to more than one family member and just get an idea of what was happening. Why do people think the person was the way they were? The other thing you can consider is, like, I have two siblings. If you sat each of us down and you asked us what was it like growing up in Southwest Missouri after you moved out of Chicago, you would get three completely different answers. I bet two of them would probably be, yeah, it was really pretty great. And the one you would get from me is, wow, I really hated it overall. Only now that I'm the age I am, having done all the research that I've done, looked at my life, seen the way the puzzle pieces fit together, the way the dots connected for the things that I came here as the family healer to heal, does it now make sense why I had to live there, why I had those experiences? Now I can appreciate. And if you asked me that question today, what did you think of growing up down there? I would say, it wasn't that bad. It was a very rich experience. I learned a lot. It was really hard. especially hard for me being somebody who doesn't like to conform and who thinks outside the box. It was very hard to be in such a small place where there was not a lot of vibrant energy, but I can see the point in it now. Whereas if you'd asked me maybe 3 or 5 years ago, I would have told you just how much it sucked. So again, layer by layer, we do this healing, we do this research, we look at things through the different lenses, the different perspectives. If you would like help with that, go to the link that's with this video and let's have a facilitation session or set up a genogram session and let's look at what's going on in your life. Let's look at what's going on in your family's life. Let's help with your research and let's do some energy healing. You don't have to carry all of this stuff that your ancestors laid on your shoulders. If you have questions, please reach out and definitely go check out the blog because I also wrote an article today about looking at different perspectives. Bye.